Welcome to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. I'm Ashley Hearn. I'm going to be your host today, and actually I'm going to be your host over a series of a couple of episodes of the podcast talking about women's health. Over the next couple of episodes, we're going to talk about just the varying phases and stages of a woman's life and how that impacts her fitness journey. And so just to give you a little background on who I am. So I have been a trainer at Burn Boot Camp for about 7.5, almost 8 years now. I joined Burn when my youngest daughter, who is 9, was just a few months old. I'd always been passionate about fitness. I'd been a big runner. And I found that after my daughter was born, I was lonely. I missed community. I was struggling in my workouts, and I had a friend that just kept raving about this place called Burn Boot Camp. And so finally I signed up, I showed up, and after day one, I knew it was what was missing in my life. It didn't take me very long to fall in love with Burn Boot Camp, not just because of the great workouts, but because it was just a place that empowered women. And around me, I saw so many strong women, all the way from 20-year-olds to 50 and 60-year-olds. And I was so inspired by that. And I knew I wanted to be a bigger part of this brand, of this mission. So very quickly had a conversation with Devin, got my CPT. I'm a NASM certified trainer. And as I started training, I realized that most of the information out there in the fitness world has been geared towards men for a long time. And it's not that women can't benefit from that education, but men and women, we're not the same. We're very different. Women experience hormonal changes throughout their lifestyle or lifetime that a man will never have to worry about. So I also very quickly decided I needed to know more. So I got my certification in pre and postnatal training with Girls Gone Strong. I'm currently enrolled in a menopause training certification with them as well, because I just really believe that as women, as we go through the varying different stages of our life, I know as a trainer, I want that education, and I want to be able to empower you also to have that knowledge. So that's what this series is going to be kind of all about. And that's really what Burn is all about, right? Empowering women. Yes, we have male members, but we're still predominantly women who are showing up in our gym every day. And like I said, I've trained 13-year-old girls and I've trained 65-year-old women. And what I can tell you is that they're not the same, right? They're all going through different things. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit in this series. I want to talk about, first of all, just kind of overall, this podcast is just kind of an introduction to fitness and women's health. And so what are the benefits for women to work out, right? We know that for all people, whether it's men or women, it lowers our blood pressure, it improves our cardiovascular health, it reduces cholesterol, and it can increase our mood, our cognitive function, and just in general, right? It's a benefit to our overall health. But what about women specifically? So think about this. For a woman, from the time she gets her first menstrual period until she goes through menopause, she will experience fluctuations in her hormones monthly, right? And then seasonally, thinking about pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, that are going to impact her, which this does really it impacts our brain chemistry as well as our moods, which does make women a little bit more susceptible to depression, anxiety, all of those things that anyone can experience, but women tend to be a little bit more susceptible because of our fluctuating hormones. So exercise it produces endorphins, right, that can act as a stabilizer. And so that's a huge benefit for women. One of my personal reasons that I started lifting weights is women are also more susceptible to bone loss throughout their lifetime. And so when we're younger, in our teen and our early 20s, 30s, this is where we benefit the most from strength training, things that build up our bone mass. So my personal story is I have a mom who I love dearly who has severe osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, degenerative disc disease, and all kinds of issues that have come from bone loss, right? Some of hers was caused by environmental factors as well. But however, I can remember as early as my mom in her 30s being in chronic pain from some of these things. And so personally, that's been a motivator to me. Is obviously there's genetic factors that we can't control, but I do believe in controlling what we can. And so for me, that looked like starting weight-bearing exercise, strength training, things that are going to make my muscles and my bones strong. And for women, this is critically important to move our bodies. Even walking is a weight-bearing exercise. So when we move our bodies, when we're at an optimal weight, this is all going to be really beneficial for us as we age and we do start to decrease in bone mass. So that's one thing that is incredibly beneficial for women as we think about, why should I work out? Why should I move my body? At every stage in our lives, this is important. So another thing for women, and I won't say men don't feel this because I think they do, but women also struggle to prioritize themselves, right? We wear a million hats as women. We're mothers, we're wives, we're sisters, we're daughters, we're employees, we're employers a lot of times. And it makes it really hard for us to prioritize ourselves, especially as moms. I think a lot of times we experience that mom guilt, right? If I take 30 minutes to go work out, if I take 45 minutes to go to a burn boot camp workout, I feel selfish, right? And so women really do struggle to prioritize themselves. And so what we've learned and what studies have shown, and what I think if you're listening to this, you can probably identify with, is that you can't pour from an empty cup. And so a lot of times when we take that time, we invest it in ourselves, in our workouts, as we feel better, as we get all of these benefits that women get from working out, as it stabilizes our mood, as it increases our capacity, our stamina, our cardiovascular health, our confidence, right? We are then better able to parent. We're better wives. We're better sisters, mothers, friends. We're better at our jobs, all of that. And really, look, here's the thing. Women go through hormonal changes monthly, right? This isn't just, we go through hormonal changes when we're pregnant or as we go through menopause. No, this happens to us monthly. And we're going to talk a little bit about in this series what that looks like and how we feel. And men don't really have to deal with that, right? But women do. And so it's important for us to understand what is happening with our bodies during our monthly cycles, during pregnancy and postpartum, during perimenopause, during menopause, so that when we have knowledge, we have power, we can listen to our bodies, we can understand what's happening with them so that we can continue to fuel our bodies and move our bodies and receive all of the benefits that come from exercising, working out, prioritizing our fitness and our health, just so that we can be overall healthier, happier, in our lives. So that's what we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks. And I invite you to join me on this journey. And I hope that you're going to learn from it, be educated by it, and be empowered by it, because that's what Burn Boot Camp is all about. So 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.